All right, everybody, it is 6 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. I know the weather wasn't or isn't the best in the world, but I appreciate you all being here. So, Sarah, when you're ready.
All right, Mayor Holland.
Here.
Commissioner Brownlow.
Present.
Commissioner Sanderson.
Present.
Commissioner Sawyer.
Present.
Commissioner Taylor.
Here.
Commissioner Wooten.
Present.
Thank you.
Man. Did Pastor President, there you are, Mr. Freddie. Up to the podium whenever you're ready. Pastor Freddie Brazel from Emerald Isle Baptist Church, so I appreciate you being here tonight, too.
Mayor, Commissioners, thank you for inviting me to pray. I appreciate the night you invited me to pray. You know, it does me good tonight, though, just to look out. I thought Baptists were the only ones that didn't come out here, right? I feel so much better tonight. Mayor, thank you. Is this right?
Switch on the bottom there. Takes a second for it.
You try to get me to know this through for years tonight. Let's pray together. Lord, we thank you for this evening. We hear the rain, we hear the wind, and we remember those who are not safe and sound. So we pray for them, for their lives this evening. People who have gone through so much already today. Our hearts go out to them, and we know that you love and you care. So we pray that people will be reaching out to rescue, to help, and to save. We thank you for living in a place and working in a place where people care enough to reach out and take care of each other, just like we see on the news. It happens here also. So I thank you for our town, for our mayor, our commissioners, all of our staff, all of our rescue, care, and public safety people. Lord, I will miss so many people when I'm trying to come up with names. But thank you for those who care for us in this town. Now, Lord, this new year we begin this evening. May the commissioners, the mayor, and all the staff be reminded that we're thankful for them, that we appreciate their service, and that we know they'll strive in every way to make this a good place to live, a safe place to live, and a very enjoyable time for those who come here for a short time or those who live their lives here for a long time. Thank you for tonight. Thank you for our town, and may you guide this meeting in such a way that these individuals that we trust and that we love, may they make this a place where even though they can't please everyone, they make it as good as possible for so many. You created this world, and we thank you. In your name we pray, in your spirit, and in your peace. Amen.
Amen. Amen. If you'll please stand with me and face the flag for our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, pardon me 1 second. Need 10 seconds here. Sorry about that. All right, before we ask for a motion to adopt the agenda, one of our commissioners has notified me that they'd like to propose an amendment. So, Commissioner Wooten, I'll let you take it from here, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to propose a change in the order, not the content, just the order, to move the public comment section, which is listed as number 9 currently, up to number 6, and move the rest of those down 1 accordingly.
I second the motion.
All right, we have a motion and we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
I want to ask a question before the thing goes, though. On that agenda, changing it and stuff, just to understand the law and the rules work correct, it's voted on by the board. Is that correct?
Correct.
The way the agenda works, and then
Correct.
the agenda decides that way. Okay, just want to make sure we're
Yes,
not
sir.
we're not overstepping our boundaries with the mayor's
Yeah,
authority.
no, we consulted with legal right before the meeting started there.
Okay.
All right, so I have 4 ayes, so that motion is carried. And now I'll need a motion to adopt the amended agenda. Is that correct, council? Is that, we need a motion to adopt the amended agenda now?
Sorry, yes, sir.
Okay, just want to make sure.
I'll move. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sure.
Mr. Mayor, manager was asking me to just point out for the board that that motion to change the order is just for this meeting.
Correct.
There'll need to be a change in the rules of procedure if that, it's the board's pleasure going forward.
Okay, all right.
Gotcha.
Very good, thank you.
So for clarification, the mayor still sets the agenda?
The town manager actually sets the agenda.
Yes.
And it's based on the order and the rules of procedure. So what I was talking about earlier was that if you all want that to be the change for every meeting, the best practice would be to go ahead and make a motion, take a vote on whether or not the rules of procedure should be changed to clarify that order.
Understood, thank you.
But we don't need to do that tonight. We can do that next month also. So I would make a motion to adopt the amended agenda for tonight, and we'll address it next month also.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion is carried. All right, so we'll take number 9, move it up to number 6, and we will begin our public comment section of the meeting. Sarah, when you're ready to invite our first speaker up.
Floyd Messer.
Say again.
Sort of strange being on this side. Thank you for letting me speak. First thing, congratulations to the 4 new commissioners. We're glad you're here. You've got a big job. And you'll find out tomorrow when you start on the budget. But anyway, congratulations again. Good job. Speaking on the budget, take care of our employees and our staff. They're the biggest asset we've got. And I'll put them up against anybody. So if you will, just keep that in mind along with the other 2 or 3 things you're gonna have to look at. But my main point tonight, all of you took an oath, and oaths are sacred, in my opinion. And I just want to reiterate the last part of that oath, and it reads, I will not allow my actions as a commissioner to be influenced by personal or political friendships or obligations. And if you guys will keep that in mind, we're going to be fine. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you for
Sarah, next.
Ronnie Watson.
Good evening, Ron.
Well, I want to reiterate what Floyd Messner just said. We want to thank you for serving, you new commissioners. You know, you got a good job. You did a good job, and you got a job ahead of you. But you know, there's a reason I think that you were elected. You know, there were so many people that turned out to vote for you guys. And you got a big responsibility, as Floyd has said. And I think what I heard with all the meetings that we had, you know, the people have concerns here. And they've needed, I guess, with such a large turnout, that ought to tell you why. And like I say, you got a big job ahead of you. And I'm so glad you moved the public comments up. I think that's the wise thing to do because, you know, people, they don't want to hear them at the end of the meeting. We want you to hear us before the meeting so that you can hear our concerns. But I want to thank you all again. And like I say, you have a big responsibility, and the people that really turned out, just look at the number of people. They have concerns. And I don't know what all of them are, but I heard a lot of them. But I want to thank you.
Thanks, sir. Excuse me.
Barry Halleck.
Good evening, sir.
I'd like to congratulate the new commissioners as well. I look forward to working with you. But I want to remind you that the excellent turnout at the candidates forum at the rec center, I think every potential candidate brought up they wanted more public input. And I think that's critical for this town to do a good job. I've attended town board meetings. I think the last one, unfortunately, was 5 or 6 years ago. This is typical of the turnout I've seen in the past. I think you should consider looking at how do we currently get input from the public? Town board meetings, not going to get a lot of input here. Your email addresses, but what really is the town doing to try to get public input? I'm hoping that you'll come up with some new and creative ideas. Some things that I'd like you to consider and some suggestions. One of the hot topics, and you always get a lot of input when there's hot topics, the trash along the beach and the trash cans that were removed. I don't know if a final decision has been made about this year or following years. I think the way I originally understood it was an experiment last year to try to save money. I commend you for trying actions to save money on the budget. I think that's commendable, and at least you're taking actions. But I would ask before you make any decisions about the future, you try to get that public input. I'll be honest with you, when we first heard about it, myself and my wife thought it was terrible, thought it was gonna be terrible with trash. Where we live, along the stretch where we're at, 5600 block of Emerald Drive, specifically on 13th Street, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad at all. We didn't see a whole bunch of trash on the sand. Now, I saw a little bit more on the boardwalk that I would pick up and take, but I did hear from other residents that it was really bad in other areas. So I would only ask, get input from the public, whether you put it on the agenda and have a 30-minute open discussion time next, but try to get input from the public in more than one way. Getting input at this meeting isn't going to get you a whole lot. Maybe you do. In the past, the town had done surveys before a 5-year planning review. You sent out a survey for the residents to fill out what's important to you. Look at that. Remind them of the email addresses, but please try to get public input. The second thing I would recommend is I believe you're having a planning meeting the next 2 days to talk about budgets. It would have been nice to, once again, try to get public input. Hey, any comments from the public about what should our priorities be? What are our important things for 2024? What I'd recommend is at least, and I hope, and I might have missed it in the past, so I apologize if you did share it, but coming out of that, once you've got your goals and your budgets, share that information with the public. And I'm hoping it's, hey, here are the 3 goals for the fire department. Here's the 3 goals for the police department. Here's the 3 goals for Rex. And here's the things we're going to do. And I hope the goals are measurable and that you'll report on them quarterly to the public. Hey, here were our goals we established in January. At the end of Q1, here's how everybody's doing. That will generate more public input if you share. Communication is a 2-way street. Don't just ask for information from the public without giving us more information to comment on. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Can I get your name one more time?
Yeah, Barry Halleck, Hallock.
All right, sir. All right, that's it. All right. Thank you very much. All right, unless I'm missing something, we'll go to public announcements next.
Now it is time for the public service announcements. There will be a Board of Commissioners special meeting on January 10th and 11th from 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Islander Hotel. The town's administrative offices will be closed January 15th for Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. The next Police Educating the Public event will take place on January 16th from 10 to 11 a.m. Guest speaker Sheriff Buck will be speaking about opioids and drugs in the county. The next Planning Board meeting is happening on January 22nd from 6 to 7 p.m. Come have coffee with a cop on January 25th from 9 to 10 a.m. The next Neighborhood Watch meeting is February 6th from 4 to 5 p.m.
Calling all high school seniors. We've got some exciting news just for you. Every year, the Emerald Isle Fishing Tournament gives an opportunity for local area high school seniors like you who want to pursue studies in the marine science or technology field. We're thrilled to announce that we will be awarding up to 6 scholarships, helping you reel in your educational goals. If you're a senior at one of these schools, this could be your chance. The scholarship applications are available through your high school's guidance counselors and online. Simply reach out for additional information. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to pursue your passion and chart your course toward a brighter future. With the Emerald Isle Fishing Tournament Scholarship, your journey to success starts here.
Hi, I'm Michael Pazarella, Chief of Police of the Emerald Isle Police Department, and I'm joined with my friend Berkeley Stafford here from Trans Impact. And tonight we're kicking off our 2023 Shop with a Cop. And just so very fortunate to team up with Trans Impact and Walmart.
Emerald Isle Police Department's been a great partner for us. Let's get those kids shopping and have a good time.
First time. It's pretty exciting, and thank y'all for inviting us to this event.
This is my second time doing Shop with a Cop. Wouldn't miss it for anything.
29 years of being a foster parent. This has never happened to me, and I sure do appreciate all of y'all for doing this.
Kids are super excited. It's my first year doing this, so really happy to be here. Hey, my name is William. This is my first experience with the Shop with a Cop, and I've been having a blast, and all the families have been super grateful, super friendly, and I'm just excited to be able to do this year in and year out.
This is my first time with Shop with a Cop, and it's amazing that our guys are doing this for these families.
This has been a fun experience. The kids are fun to go shopping with. Can't wait to do it again.
I just think it's really awesome that people are so generous and so nice about offering families that are struggling a lot of help this Christmas, and that has been a true blessing. Really has.
This is my first time doing this. It's absolutely awesome. The little girl on shopping floor is not getting anything for herself. She's buying presents for the rest of her family. She said she already has enough still.
The Floyd Messer Jr. Hall of Fame video and 2023 Year in Review video are now on the website and the official Town of Emerald Isle's YouTube channel. And the next Board of Commissioners meeting will take place on February 13th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. in the Town Boardroom.
All right, we thank you for that. At this time, I would like to invite up Chief Panzarella, Police Department. He has a new employee for us to introduce to us tonight.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Thank you for the opportunity to come before you tonight and introduce one of our new employees, William Billy Wood. Billy comes to us from Roanoke City Police Department, where he retired on August the 1st, 2023, after 21 and a half years of service. Billy retired as the rank of sergeant, where he spent most of his time as a community resource officer, much like we have here in Emerald Isle. Shortly after retiring on August 1st, he moved to Emerald Isle on August the 13th, and we swore him in on November the 20th, 2023. Billy is proven and established law enforcement officer with accommodations from the International Associations of Chiefs of Police and the Red Cross. Billy has extensive training. He's a certified crime prevention specialist. He's a certified general instructor in the state of Virginia. He's attended the FBI Leadership Trilogy and has completed all 3 levels. And most importantly, he attended the first professionalized law enforcement community engagement training held in Atlanta, Georgia in 2023. So if you would join me in welcoming Billy to our family. Thank you.
All right, we welcome Officer Wood, and now Mr. Zapp has another employee announcement. When
Yes,
you're
sir.
ready,
Thank you. Tonight, I'd like to introduce Chris Seberg, who began with us effective January 1st and taking over our role as planning director. For those of you that have worked with Chris, you probably saw him for over a decade and a half in Cedar Point, and then he did a 2-year stint as well at the town of Swansboro. So we are very thankful to have Chris back with us, and he was most recently in New Bern, and we'll allow Chris to speak a little bit more about his experiences, training, and we're glad to have him on staff. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Matt. Yeah, I've got roughly 22 years of municipal and county experience, working outside of Charlotte, working in Lenore County, working for Cedar Point was my longest stay, but also managed town of Swansboro for 2 years after that. Short stint on base at Cherry Point, working their facilities, but wanted to come back to local government work. But definitely happy to be here, happy to contribute to our team approach here.
Thank you, sir. Welcome.
Welcome.
All righty. Next item up would be the consent agenda. Is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
So moved.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
That motion is carried. Public comment was back up at the front, so we will go to our comments from Town Clerk, Attorney, and Manager. Sarah? Oh. Counselor?
No comment, Mr. Mayor, thank you.
Mr. Zapp?
No, sir, none at all. We appreciate it. We do look forward to tomorrow and Thursday with our new board. And again, as we indicated a little bit earlier, that we'll have training from 8:30 officially, but we want to remind everyone, if you arrive a little bit before 8, we will have light refreshments. And we look forward to seeing what the new board has in mind for staff, and we'll be ready to execute in 2024.
Thank you, sir. All right, we will go to comments from our commissioners. Start with Commissioner Sanderson.
No comment, Mayor.
No comment. Commissioner Sawyer?
No comment.
No comment. Commissioner Brownlow?
Thank you, Mayor. Floyd, I agree with you. I've been meeting the staff since coming aboard and during my onboarding process, and I am very impressed with our staff, and they have made my transition a whole lot smoother, and I like going in town hall, joking with them. They say they often hear me before they see me when I come in town hall, and that's part of my characteristics. I'm kind of loud. And Ronnie, I agree with you that I think we have an immense responsibility to the people and carrying out the will of the people, and that's why they put us into office. And Mr. Halleck, I agree. Part of one of my campaign goals that I went door to door on and campaigned on vigorously was community engagement, public engagement. And in fact, I put it on the list of goals to work on the next 2 days and ways to do that. And so absolutely, those are very good points you have, and I intend to take those very seriously. Thank you very much for your input. Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks, sir. Commissioner Wooten?
Not really. I want to say thank you to Billy and Chris and welcome aboard. Look forward to working with you. I'll echo a lot of what Commissioner Brownlow said. I think I agree that community engagement is a two-way street, and it's one of the most important things. So look forward to seeing some different ways that we can collect that kind of input and make it actionable. So thank you for the public comment. And that's it.
Thank you. Commissioner Taylor?
Once again, I'm looking forward to working with the new members up here. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and you're going to do a lot of good ideas and good stuff for the town of Emerald Isle. And Chief, it was amazing watching the video there with the Christmas and what y'all did, and being able to take and the kind of leadership that you're doing and being able to bring on officers like the gentleman you just hired on is amazing. So that just says a lot for this town, and to get that kind of quality people to want to come out of retirement and come back and work here and kind of look at this as a retirement gig for them and in this great place. So it says a lot for your team, and I really enjoyed watching the video. It brought Christmas back alive again for me. It's nice to see it still going strong like that. Looking forward to our new planning director. I wish you all the best and look forward to working for you and working with you and working beside you. And you got 100% my support, and I'm sure all the rest of the board up here also. That's about it. Happy New Year to all of you, and thank you, Mr. Messer, for coming out, and Mr. Finch for coming out too. It's nice seeing your faces again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Don't have a lot to say. I want to welcome Mr. Wood and Mr. Seberg the town there. Look forward to getting to know you better and working with you. Beautiful place to work. I know Pastor Brazel's already going home. I wanted to thank him and apologize. Thank him for coming and apologize for bringing him out this weather. I should have called him a little earlier and let him off the hook, but if you hadn't had a chance to catch one of Pastor Freddie's services on Sunday at EI Baptist, do yourself a favor and get out there. You'll leave with a smile on your face regardless of how you walked in there. That's all I've got. Before I ask for a motion to go into closed session, I will let you know that once we go into closed session, the public will be excused for the meeting. And as I always say, we save that for the end there. When we come out of closed session, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn. So there won't be any public business discussed after that. So we're about to go into closed session, talk about what we got to talk about. But when we come out, we're going home. Thank you all for coming and braving the weather and being here, and be safe getting back. And at this time, I'll ask for that motion to go into closed session.
So moved.
All right, do we need to read that verbatim or no? I know we have. I know we have in the past. Okay, if someone was on their green sheet there,
Very last page.
Very last page.
Yeah. I make a motion pursuant to NCGS 143-318.11.6 to discuss personnel in closed session.
All right, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're now in closed session. Thank you all for coming very much.